But we know that as long as men are free to ask what they will, free to say what they think, free to think what they must, science will never regress, and freedom itself will never be wholly lost.
I think Oppenheimer as a biopic seems too small a word to contain the ambition and scope of Christopher Nolan's filming imagination. But he's formidable, and it's a very dense and intricate period piece. It's really well played out in a tangle of timelines. You see a lot of things happening at the same time. It's the past, it's the present, it's the cause. It's everything. You just name it. It's just weaving together every scene. The whole romantic liaisons. It's the lab epiphanies. It's the lecture hall personalities. It's just the courtroom drama. Yes, that one of my favorite pieces of all time. बहुत अच्छा लगा. It was really it's a monstrous film. It's amazing. It's really good. And you portraying the father of the atomic bomb. It's ये story तो हम पाकिस्तानियों को कभी we can't even think about this. Imagine us making a film on Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan. Lately we have made a really good film, a really good reboot of Maula Jat. Well, we'll do something about it as well, because I really wanted to do it for a long time. Talk about it. Bilal Lashari's masterpiece. Of course, we're really proud of that film as well. But when you talk about somebody of the likes of Christopher Nolan and his cinematic geniuses, you talk about the boundless possibilities. And mostly he works on time, space, science. But again, I'm referring back to what I was saying, that you're portraying father of the atomic bomb. Now he's the Frankenstein of the 20th century. Think about it in every possible way. So you need to instill that fear into the audience. You watch the film and you realize he's a very sharif aadmi hai. He doesn't have an appetite for annihilation, but eventually that annihilates a whole lot of land, whole lot of people. Everybody knows the history. I think it's a pure story of invention. It's a pure story of discovery, and how a scientist is put into guilt after such a milestone. It's a historic thing to think about. But again, hats off to everyone that was in the film. What an amazing flick to watch. It's a cinematic experience. If you haven't watched it, you should. बहुत लोगों को लगा था कि यार बम फटने वाला सीन जो था, that was epic, but I strongly feel that wasn't the case. I beg to differ. I have another opinion. I think बम फटने तक कोई scene नहीं था. I think the part where the Matt Damon's character actually, when he gets acquainted, when he meets Robert J for the first time, the Cillian Murphy for the first time, so वहाँ से the series of events that starts unraveling, and the way they go to recruit other people. I think that's one of the most amazing things to watch. And plus, it would be indecent on my side not to mention the soundtrack, the background score. It has always been one of the biggest weapon in Christopher Nolan's directorial arsenal. Oppenheimer as a cinematic experience it has a lot of weight to it, a lot of weight. And there's something else. It's a whole fusion and fission of ideas, and unbelievable. Nolan, for some reason, his preference shooting on IMAX 70mm its film is I don't know. He said it's some detail, depth, and he absolutely drowns the audience in it, and that's what he's good at. And this time around, probably he came up with something, a 65mm film. He's probably innovating during you're producing a film, and he's very old school. The third thing that I think the most strongest part of the film was the wardrobe. I mean, every time you wanna wear those clothes when you look at Cillian Murphy or anybody else in the film, even Robert Downey. One of the most exciting things about Christopher Nolan's storytelling is that he always introduces this object into the film or the storyline, and this is one of his best part. You know, when he introduces these abstract moments, and they make everything so interesting, very intriguing, and like when you see those raindrops in the very beginning, it's so symbolic that you actually venture into the heart of the atom itself. That's the Oppenheimer's world, literally. It's like shockwave of the reactions, and everything has been set in motion. Kind of heralds the horrors which we are about to witness, and again with Ludwig, the soundtrack was absolutely a genius again. The soundscape, the crescendos, the thunderous, stamping feet. There were, so much happening. I can watch this film like 20 times in the cinema. But again, this film has a very catastrophic potential again, and it's a physicist work. A word of caution: you need to at least go through Wikipedia once about a couple of things. You should know the film की timeline. One of the most important thing, you should know this. When was it set? ठीक है, ये आपको पता होना चाहिए कि वर्ल्ड वॉर का कौन सा साल चल रहा है, वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 का कौन सा साल चल रहा है. ठीक है, उसके बाद आपको पता होना चाहिए कि why Manhattan Project actually happened. ठीक है, and फिर who was Oppenheimer, who was Strauss. Overall, terrific moments awaits you. But that's it. That was my zone of interest that I wanted to discuss with you. And that's it. That's it from my side. I'm gonna take off. You take good care of yourself. And well, I'll see you on the other side then. Allah Hafiz.
The application of this